The parish of Trelawny was rocked by a high-intensity joint police and military operation on Wednesday, February 12, as law enforcement descended on multiple locations, targeting a web of criminal activities. With the Jamaica Defense Force backing the operation, authorities swept through Wakefield, Dunkins, Clarkstown, and Rio Bueno, leaving no stone unturned. By the time the dust settled, 12 individuals were in custody, each linked to a different piece of the crime puzzle. 10 suspects, believed to be part of a rampant lottery scamming syndicate, 1 fugitive, wanted by the Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offenses and Child Abuse, and 1 individual, apprehended on an outstanding warrant for breaches of the Road Traffic Act. But the operation didn't stop at arrests. Law enforcement seized 10 cellular phones, potential gold mines of criminal evidence, 2 motor vehicles believed to be tied to illicit activities, and multiple laptops now under intense scrutiny by the Area 1 Lottery Scam Task Force. Authorities have vowed that this is just the beginning. With lottery scamming, sexual offenses, and fugitives in their crosshairs, law enforcement is tightening its grip on criminals operating in the parish. The early morning silence of Belmore Lane in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, was shattered on Thursday at 5:30 a.m. as a high-stakes police operation erupted into a deadly shootout, leaving Ricardo Alexander Powell, also known as Kogi, dead. Police, acting on intelligence, descended on Powell's residence, armed with a search warrant. But what was meant to be a standard operation quickly spiraled into chaos. Upon breaching the house, officers came face-to-face with Powell, gun in hand. What followed was a split-second decision between life and death. Powell allegedly opened fire, forcing the officers to take evasive action and return fire. When the smoke cleared, Powell lay mortally wounded. Police recovered a Taurus .380 pistol, still loaded with 4 rounds, along with a spent casing, a chilling reminder of the intense confrontation. Powell was rushed to the Spanish Town Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Meanwhile, the Independent Commission of Investigation has launched a full-scale probe into the incident, as the community grapples with yet another fatal encounter between police and suspected gunmen. The quiet streets of Mandeville were shattered by violence in the early hours of Monday morning, as a deadly altercation ended with 1 man brutally stabbed to death and another facing a murder charge. The accused, 22-year-old Javon Nicholson of Watermouth District in Porus, now stands charged with the cold-blooded murder of 29-year-old Reynardo Joker Lewin, a resident of Wint Glade, Manchester. It was just past 5 a.m., and the town was still stirring from slumber when Nicholson and Lewin crossed paths at an establishment on Tudor Avenue, off Ward Avenue. Words were exchanged, tempers flared, and in an instant the confrontation turned deadly. With rage burning in his veins, Nicholson lunged, his knife flashing under the dim morning light. Blow after blow, he drove the blade into Lewin's body, each strike more savage than the last. By the time the chaos subsided, Lewin lay motionless, his lifeblood pooling around him. Rushed to the hospital, doctors could only confirm what witnesses already knew. He was gone. Nicholson, bloodied from the altercation, was also taken to the hospital for treatment before being taken into custody. Now he faces the weight of justice, as he is officially charged with murder. The brutal slaying marks Manchester's first recorded murder of the year, a chilling start that has left the community shaken and demanding answers. The streets of Spanish Town ran red in a chilling act of violence that left bus driver Nicholas Flex Leash dead, his life stolen in an instant by a blade to the neck. Now, 28-year-old Amar Drummond, infamously known as One Corruption, has been charged with murder and conspiracy to commit murder for the brutal killing that unfolded in broad daylight on December 28, 2024. It was 10:50 a.m., a normal morning for Leach as he navigated his Toyota coaster bus along Yonge Street. But normal turned deadly when Drummond boarded the vehicle, blending in with the crowd until he struck like a serpent. With cold precision, he allegedly drove a knife into Leach's neck, leaving passengers in horror as their driver slumped over, bleeding profusely. The desperate race to the hospital was in vain. Leach was pronounced dead on arrival. With Spanish Town's Criminal Investigations Branch on high alert, a relentless hunt for Drummond began. After weeks of investigation, the net closed in, leading to his arrest and subsequent charge following an intense question and answer session with authorities. The night air exploded with gunfire on Washington Boulevard as a suspected fugitive met his end in a blaze of bullets during a deadly face-off with police on Tuesday night. It began with a flicker of suspicion. A man lurking, watching, waiting. Officers from the Area 4 Fugitive Apprehension Team, trained to recognize the scent of danger, moved in. The moment their eyes locked, the man bolted into the shadows of a nearby premises, desperation fueling his every step. But the chase did not end there. The suspect, his back against the wall, made a desperate dash onto Washington Boulevard. Instead of surrendering, he whirled around, gun in hand, and opened fire on the approaching officers. The police returned fire with unyielding force, the night erupting in chaos as bullets tore through the air. Within moments, the suspect collapsed, wounded, his fight for freedom replaced by the silence of defeat. As his blood darkened the pavement, officers retrieved a Taurus 9mm pistol, its 4 remaining rounds a testament to what could have been an even greater bloodbath. Rushed to the Kingston Public Hospital, he was pronounced dead on arrival, his attempt to escape the law ending in tragedy. The reggae community is in mourning as news breaks of the passing of veteran singer Determine, the artist behind the mid-90s anthem Ketted Drum, which he recorded alongside dancehall legend Beenie Man. Born Rohan Bennett, Determine fought a valiant battle with stomach cancer, but on Thursday his voice was silenced forever. He was 52 years old. It was 1995 when Determine exploded onto the scene, his gritty yet melodic delivery cementing his place in reggae history. Ketted Drum, produced by the legendary Bobby Digital, became an instant classic, sharing the rhythm with some of the era's biggest hits, Coco T's Holy Mount Zion, Bounty Killers Seek God, and Buju Banton's Till I'm Laid to Rest. But Determine was no one-hit wonder. Before Ketted Drum, he had already made waves with Zion Hill and Full Speed with Terror Fabulous. He later followed up with Searching and Me Go Through Dat, further solidifying his reputation as a true reggae soldier. His passing was confirmed by Paula Francis, the mother of 3 of his children and a close partner in his life and career, as tributes pour in from fans, fellow artists, and the reggae fraternity. One truth remains: determined spirit, lyrics, and unwavering passion for conscious music will never fade. Though his voice is now silent, his music will beat on like a Ketted drum, steady and strong.